What stands out to you as the number one goal of the year?
Well, it's kind of a subjective basis, obviously, here, Frank. And I factored in a couple of things when I was picking it. First, it was the highlight reel factor. Second, it was the timing factor. Three, it's who it was by. And I came up with Cale Makar scoring in game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs last year, first round against the Nashville Predators. And it was really everything that I've seen from Makar that made me think this guy here is going to win the Conn Smythe in that moment. From the blue line, changes direction, takes off, stick handle, forehand, backhand, off the goalie, underneath the bar. Like, just, it's everything to me that encompassed what Makar's done in the NHL and why I think he's the top defenseman. Made it 4-0, 13 minutes into the first period, and it just was a sign of things to come for the Colorado Avalanche. It set the table for him to win the Conn Smythe, for the team to win the Stanley Cup. And I think in that moment, Frank, that one really stood out to me. How about you?
Yeah, I must have watched 100 goals from this calendar year this morning just trying to prep for this. And it's funny that there was a number of Makar goals you could have picked. There's that one Spinorama one where he spun away from a defenseman and went in to
Mm-hmm.
score. That was ridiculous. I'm actually going to keep it in the Colorado Avalanche family, and I'm going to go with Nathan MacKinnon, also in the playoffs on their march to the Stanley Cup final. This was against the St. Louis Blues, and it was also not just how pretty this was. This was force of nature on display for Nathan MacKinnon. It was also the moment. The Avs needed that goal. It put them up one late in the third period. They had blown a 3-0 lead at that point. It was for a hat trick. I remember exactly where I was. I was in Calgary watching this game at a bar with a bunch of hockey writers. I had a bet on MacKinnon points for the series. This won me a boatload of cash. That was a big reason why I picked it. And the odd thing about this, Mike, you'll remember the game. The Avs actually lost that game in overtime,
Mm-hmm.
one of their few blemishes in their playoff run. And kind of fitting that we both picked Avs guys as the Avs ended up hoisting the Stanley Cup back in June.
Only seems appropriate, doesn't it? That was quite a goal. I remember the same thing. I'm watching and just going, whoa.